Welcome to SVL Free News and Views. This is Brian About Town, your host, and welcome to our 6th episode. And we want to thank our sponsors who've made this show possible: Mitchell College, Randy Marion, Piedmont Healthcare, Blue Harbor Bank, Fast Fields, Key to Escape, The Escape Room, Statesville Family YMCA, and McDonald's of Iredell County. And Mike, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. I want to apologize for the shirt. I know it's a little loud. I wore it in honor of Father's Day this weekend.
Okay.
My boys gave this to me many years ago, and I don't know. I think nothing captures Father's Day probably more than this shirt.
And you can't see it, but it's Tabasco sauce on there. Right. There you go. All right, so Mike, what have we got going on as far as the news?
Well, first I want to thank the town of Troutman for letting us host our show this week from ESC Park.
ESC Park, right here.
We have a great interview coming up with Mayor T. Ross Young and also with town manager Justin Longino, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But as far as the news, I think the big thing this week is Statesville Police Chief Joe Barone announced his retirement. He will officially be employed through the end of the year, but it appears that his last day of work will be early September, so he probably has some leave time to use up. And I would just note, the city is seeing a bit of an exodus of high-ranking department head type people. We've lost the head of the rec department,
Brent Corneliuson.
Well, obviously we lost the city manager, and now we lost the chief. So we're losing a lot of institutional knowledge and experience, and that'll just be something to keep an eye on in the months ahead. Then the other thing I just point out was, as most people know, graduation at all the high schools last weekend. We covered all the 4 in the north end of the county for the website. We've got lots of great photos at svlfreenews.com. We'll put a couple up with the show, but there's plenty more there to see on the website.
Right, so we're really excited to be down here at Troutman. Lots of things are happening, so let's take
Thanks, Brian. I'm here at Troutman's ESC Park with Mayor T. Ross Young and Town Manager Justin Longino. Thanks for joining us this week, guys.
Thank you.
Really excited to highlight some of the things that are going on in Troutman. It seems like there's always something new on the horizon. The town's preparing for rapid growth, but you're adding lots of amenities for your current and future citizens along the way. Just coming out of the budget process, looks like you're seeing an increase in revenue, not having to raise taxes or water and sewer fees, correct, for your residents?
Yes, that's correct.
So, Mayor, maybe just start with you. Maybe give us a snapshot of where Troutman is today and where you see it in the next couple of years.
Yeah. So again, thanks, Mike and Brian, for having us. We appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about Troutman. We're still a small town community surrounded by some pretty large municipalities, and we want to maintain that small town feel. We appreciate the feedback we get from citizens who say just that. They want to continue to maintain that. We're looking to not only do that, but also have an opportunity where people in the community can live, play, and work. I know every community says that, but we are truly working toward that sort of thing. We've got some great assets in our community, whether it's the lake, the state park, our wonderful ESC Park, as you mentioned, that we're here, as well as the Iredell County Fairgrounds. And so all these things are here, and we want to best utilize them to make sure people have a wonderful place to live. And as we mentioned, from a business perspective, we're trying to entice businesses to come here, that people don't have to drive very far, don't have to be in traffic and sit in traffic long times. And so those are sorts of things that we're working toward to make sure that people can live and work here and play without having to go too far.
Now, Justin, from an administrative standpoint, that all sounds like a lot of work. Your population today is around 2,900. We were talking earlier, you're projecting in 5 years that could easily get to 8,000 or 10,000, assuming the economy continues to grow the way it has, interest rates are favorable for businesses and those things. When you think about the population doubling, tripling in the next 5 years, what do you have to do to be ready for that?
Well, to answer that and to touch on the mayor's point real quick, it's really great to be in an environment where the council and the staff and the citizens all really have that shared vision. I mean, I think you ask anybody, you'll hear that same sort of answer, that we want to keep that small town feel, and we want to stay Troutman. but we also want to have those amenities that people look for. But in terms of handling that growth, I think that again we're kind of on the same page where we want to prepare for that growth. We know that it's coming. We've just recently undertaken a strategic master plan that we've hired a consultant to help us with, and have an aggressive timeline to get that in place in the next 6 months or so that we're able to keep that growth trajectory going, but also make sure that growth happens the way we want it to happen.
And you must have a kind of a separate vision for the interstate area versus downtown. Maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think the vision is that most of our commercial, large commercial, will end up on that interstate side of our town, and it's not to at all neglect what our vision is for our downtown. And we're having conversations yesterday with the North Carolina Main Street program, and we're in a process of wanting to follow that and really improve our Main Street, if you will.
Now, Justin, I know there are a lot of events coming up in the next week or so that you'll want residents to know about. First of all, on the 14th at 7 o'clock, I know you have your public hearing for the budget.
Sir.
Then on the 15th, you have Party in the Park here at ESC Park.
Right here.
And will there be live music at that?
Live music, yep.
And then on the 30th, you have the Troutman Independence Day Festival and Parade.
That's right.
And that starts in the morning with ceremony, and then you have the parade, and then in the evening you have the festival and the fireworks. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. The parade starts at 11, and then the festival starts at around 5:30, and goes until about 9:30 whenever it gets dark, and then we'll give the guys the go-ahead for the fireworks and have the big fireworks show.
Now, how do those two events specifically, I guess the Party in the Park and the Independence Day Festival and Parade, how do those things fit into your vision for the town, Mayor? May I start with you?
Sure. I guess for me it is a vision of partnerships. And so when I look at all the partnering businesses as well as nonprofits, whether it's our healthcare or ESC or any of the other businesses that are in town, some of our small businesses really stepping up the plate to really be part of the town and the community is extremely important. And so to me it's about partnerships, and those relationships help make the town what it is. It's not about the town council or the mayor. It's about all those partnerships coming together and working together. And so Rotary has stepped up on the Independence Festival. It went away for a few years and it's coming back. And so they're doing great work partnering with the town and the staff to bring that back to life based on, again, demand from the citizenry. And so those partnerships really pay off.
I'll kind of just leave on this question for you. One thing that I've always been impressed with Troutman is the partnership with the schools. I think it's a great thing that the town does when you recognize students every month, and you had the JROTC students from West End, and you just honor different students every month, and the town provides the resource officers to the schools also, right?
That's correct.
So you're doing things that a lot of larger municipalities aren't doing. Do you think Troutman will be able to continue to do those sort of things as you grow?
Well, I sure hope so. Our schools are very important to our community, and we've got probably more schools than probably some other towns our size, from our high school to our middle school and elementary. We've got our CATS facility here. We've also got a charter school in the community, and so having all the diversity of choices for education in our community, again, I speak about the assets of a community our size, it's huge. And so we want to make sure we continue to recognize the great students that we have, and hopefully many of them who may go off to college or go off somewhere to work, probably like myself, will find, hey, this is a great community and I'd love to come back and stay. And for those who continue to find opportunities here, as we continue to grow businesses, we think they can be great assets to the town in the future.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today, and good luck.
Great.
Thanks.
Again, thank you for highlighting Troutman. We really appreciate the support from Statesman Free News.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate the mayor and town manager for taking the time. I thought it was a very informative interview. You can tell obviously there's a lot going on in Troutman. Just a fascinating note, they have those 2,000 building permits in process for new homes. Within the next 10 years, the population of Troutman is going to go from 2,900 to maybe 10,000 people. So this is an important moment in the town's history where the current leadership and the citizens are going to work together to really define what this town is and what it's all about and what's important. And I think they've got a lot going on in Troutman.
And we have the two events, about some events coming up this summer that we'll be posting about. And if you haven't been out to ESC Park, come on down. This is a great little facility down there.
It's great. They have a lot of, they have their own Saturday evening concert series in the summer. They have we mentioned in the interview, they have the big Independence Day festivities coming up at the fairgrounds. So
this morning I went out and conducted an interview at Rescue Ranch. I mean, the Newmans, Ryan Newman and Chrissy Newman, have done so much for Iredell County, and Rescue Ranch is committed to teaching folks the responsible pet ownership.
Right, it's incredible. And they also focus on what the food chain is like. So you have an understanding that when you go into the store and you get a steak or a hamburger, where that came from.
That's right.
And they're also, their focus on childhood education and the work that they do with special needs kids. That playground is incredible.
Right, it was incredible. I went out, I got some footage. You'll see that in the interview here. So let's go out to Rescue Ranch. Hey everybody, I'm out here at Rescue Ranch and I'm with two very distinguished folks, Ed Kinch and Stacy Foreman. Stacy and Ed, how are y'all doing this morning?
Excellent, how about you?
Thank you. I'm here because they're kicking off a camp, and talk a little bit about why does this camp fulfill the mission of Rescue Ranch?
So Rescue Ranch, here we teach animal education.
Okay.
We're all about the humane treatment of animal,
Right.
and also responsible pet ownership. And so Stacy has set up these programs to kind of highlight those features about pet care and everything. And
Yeah, when the kids are here, they actually will spend time with all the animals that live here at the ranch. They do different animals every day. They even help with the animal care.
Right.
So we have them helping clean some of the enclosures. Some of our older kids will help out, mucking stalls and
Right.
Doing some of the outside stuff as well. We want them to see what it's like to have this animal as a pet, and to see that when I take on an animal, there's certain things I need to, be able to give them the life that they need, and that I've taken on for its lifetime, not until I'm just done playing with it or until it's gotten bigger.
Right.
But that I've taken it on for, the entire time that animal's going to be alive. And, some animals are alive for 2 to 3 years and some for 75.
Right.
So we really try to teach them about researching and knowing what I would need before I take on this animal and how long
Right.
would I potentially have this animal.
I mean, I think when somebody has never been a pet owner, when they first get a pet, they think, oh, I'll play with it and have fun, but then they realize there's a lot of responsibility, just like a child.
Sure. And actually, some of our animals were actually given up because they were actually pets, and then the child no longer could take care of it.
Right.
And so we actually had that child actually had to sign a waiver and understand. We're talking about copper here, and understand about what how they had to give that up.
Okay, another unique feature you have is you have a camp for special needs kids. Talk about that a little bit.
So that camp is going to be later this summer. It's July 23rd. It's a half-day camp. With that one, we have much smaller numbers, so we have one teacher for 3 kids,
Right.
and then we have still some junior counselors that help us out with that week. And with that week, they still get the hands-on animal time. They get to play on our fully inclusive playground that we have out back. And then we just do a lot of kind of hands-on things for them to be able to use. This will be our second year doing it.
Excellent.
Last year we had a great time with the kids, from going outside and feeding the farm animals to petting some animals inside. We've got 2 called Dagoos that just run and run and
Right.
run. The kids were just amazed watching them. But we do a lot of hands-on things to just get them interacting with each other.
Right.
It's a fun
And
day.
you have an amazing facility. I was here when you did the kickoff for the playground back there when Dale Earnhardt Jr. was here, and it was a lot of celebrities from the racing world over here. So I know the Newmans have put their heart and soul into this,
Yes,
and,
very much so.
and all of you have done this. So thank you very much, and we're going to get some footage from kids actually.
We actually, the playground is open to the public.
Okay.
And we actually have some wonderful guests here right now. They've returned from last week too. So the playground is open to the public. We just ask that you call ahead to make sure that there's access there. And
So you do need to call ahead. Call, and I'll put
Yes.
the website here and the phone number right here at the bottom of
Yes.
the screen. So let's go see what the kids are doing.
let's do that.
All right.
This is Miss Millie, and we also have Mr. Marshmallow and Hershey. Millie is a Rex rabbit, and then Marshmallow is our Holland lop-eared rabbit, and Hershey is our lion head. So we're going to start off with you guys being able to go ahead and touch them. So a few rules for interacting with my bunnies. We don't want to put our hands right in front of their faces, because what do our fingers kind of look like? Those of you who have been here before. They look kind of like baby carrots, about the same size and about the same shape. Plus, if I was an animal, I don't think I'd want anybody's hand right in front of my face. Millie and Marshmallow are what we call a bonded pair. So that means they are best buddies and they live in the same enclosure together. They love to snuggle. They usually sleep in the same bed together, and they take a lot of comfort from each other.
A chance to go out to Rescue Ranch, go out there and see what it's all about. Just give them a call, and they have that playground. They said just give them a call, and it's open to the public, and it's just a fascinating thing, a place to go out there. You know, this month is National Dairy Month, and we've been going I've been promoting this, and I went out with Nancy Keith to Rocky Creek Dairy. It's Ben Shelton's farm, about 1,250 cows.
Crazy.
Crazy, and you'll see some of the technology he employs there, and I did confirm, Mike. Dairy is number one in Iredell County of all the state, and North Carolina agriculture is number one of all the industries.
$84 billion?
$84 billion. And I asked, you'll hear Ben, I asked him how important is dairy to Iredell County, and it's almost $300 million plus dollars. So that's why dairy is important to Iredell County. So let's take a listen. Hey everybody, we're on the road today and with Nancy Keith. Nancy, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Brian. How are you?
So we're going up to the Shelton Dairy Farm. So what are we going to see when we get up there?
Well, up at Shelton's or Rocky Creek Dairy, which is one of the larger dairy operations in the county, they milk about 1,250 Holstein cows and are one of the top producing herds in the state of North Carolina.
Wow.
And have won awards for the past probably 5 to 7 years on their quality.
Very good.
So really good dairy operation.
Excellent.
That we'll be seeing.
And just a reminder, we've been talking about this. It's National Dairy Month, and Iredell leads the state in dairy production, correct?
That's correct. There are currently 32 dairy farms in Iredell County, which milk approximately 13,000 cows, and those are just the cows that are milking. And the farm gate receipts from milk production is about $52 million. And looking at the total economic impact for dairy in Iredell County equates to about $328 million of our $662 million economic impact of agriculture in the county.
And Mike, I did confirm with Nancy that agriculture is also number one in the whole state.
Yes, agriculture is number one in the state with a total economic impact of $84 billion. And the Commissioner of Agriculture, Steve Troxler, is wanting to move that up to about $100 billion by 2020. So
okay, very good.
Looking at doing some things
Excellent.
with the university and the state of North Carolina to increase that.
Okay, well, I will let you get back to your driving.
I'll drive right on.
We'll see you at Rocky Creek Dairy, and we're getting ready to talk to Ben Shelton. And Ben, how you doing?
Well, having a great day. The sun is shining. We're glad it finally quit raining for 3 weeks solid, and we're getting a lot of work done today.
Okay, so Nancy, you chose Shelton, Ben Shelton's farm to bring us to. He's got a big operation. So how long have you been doing this, Ben?
32 years.
32 years. And you're also a vet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you kind of have dual roles there.
Trying to get better at both.
Okay, so this is National Dairy Month, and we talked to Nancy earlier, and she confirmed, we talked about the importance of the dairy industry here in Iredell County. How important is dairy to Iredell County?
Well, it's a big economic part of Iredell County. When you look at total dollars generated through the multiplier of the dairy sales were over $300 million contributed to the Iredell County economy through the dairy farms in this area.
And we were talking about, I know you're always probably striving to be more efficient, to increase your efficiency. So what is your biggest challenge now in the dairy industry?
Well, today pricing is obviously a huge challenge. We're in a real downturn price-wise compared to where we've been. Very few dairies are cash flowing today, so I always tell people the two things that influence our profitability more than anything we have very little control over: the market and the weather.
Right, and those two factors. 'Cause obviously, the price on milk is determined by the market. So
yes,
and it may not be in tandem with your cost at times.
That's exactly right.
That's right. Nancy, you also brought up a subject a while ago about the controversy with almond. You call it's not almond milk. It's
Well, I would like to refer to it, I guess, as more of an almond juice or a soy juice, because there's no milk that comes from those products.
Right.
Those are the almonds are squeezed and the juice comes out of them. And if you look at the nutritional value of that, the nutritional value of an 8-ounce serving of milk is 8 grams of protein for that 8-ounce serving versus 1 gram of protein in an almond
and how much
beverage.
Well, how much of an impact either one of you is that making on your demand?
It's having a huge impact. In the Southeast, fluid sales have been our driver of price. Fluid sales have consistently been dropping 1 to 1.5% per year for the last 10 years.
Right.
So the figures came out about 3 years ago that for the 11 marketing states in the Southeast, we had lost the sales of fluid sales, the equivalent of the milk production in North Carolina.
Right.
So we lost fluid sales on the equivalent of 50,000 cows.
Wow, that's a lot. So now, are there price supports, or are there no price supports?
No, we're a free market.
You're totally free market, and that's been the case for...
Several years ago, the supports that the government had in place really waned out, and I think the dairymen really want that. We want a free market system. There is an insurance program that the government has offered, the Margin Milk Protection Program, but the government has made a lot of money on that. Very few dairymen have actually benefited by that program.
And we've been talking about, Nancy, we've been talking about the 10% program, which is trying to buy local as much as possible. Where is some of your milk going? Is any of it staying here and being sold here in Iredell County?
Well, most of in a month's time, our milk will go to probably 10 different plants, but most of those plants are within a 2 to 3 hour radius of here. So we go to Hunter Farms, we go to Pet in Spartanburg, we go to the Ingalls plant in Asheville, we go to Publix in Atlanta. So all those plants take our milk. So if you're at Pet milk from Spartanburg would be from here. If you were at Ingalls, would be processed in the plant in Asheville. We also send some milk to a cheese plant in Greenville, Tennessee.
Right. So I did take a peek back in the area where they actually milk the cows. I was very amazed how they seem so orderly back there. It's like they know what they're doing.
Well, they do it 3 times a day.
3 times a day. And so what's the average yield on one of your...
Our average yield this morning was 95 pounds per cow.
Wow.
The top cows today are probably in the 160 pound per day range.
And what contributes to more yield?
We've improved genetics tremendously over the last 30 years, just with better technologies that are available to us to understand genetics. We've improved our forage quality, so the feed that we're able to feed cattle is better. Our knowledge of cow health and cow comfort is improved. So it's a big ball that you have to put it all together to get to that level.
Well, thank you. Well, Nancy, I wish you both, I guess I can say Happy Dairy Month. Is that fitting?
That's good.
That's right. And Ben, I wish you the best in your business here, and hope that we'll get those prices up a little bit.
Well, just drink more milk.
Drink more milk, not almond juice.
That's right.
So thank you very much.
Beverage.
Thank you very much here at Rocky Creek Dairy. Hey, we've been talking a lot about, of course, there in the dairy business, so in agriculture. We've also talked about farm to plate and the NC 10% program, which Matt Lenhart talked about last week. But this week over at the YMCA, they're kicking off cultivation. It's
a great program, and we'll learn more about it in the interview, but it's really teaching children again how to understand where their food comes from and how to participate in that food chain.
In the food chain. And another thing is, I want to thank Bud Martin with Speedball Products. Melinda White Manning this year is incorporating artwork into the program. So Bud is donating some supplies from Speedball Products, locally made right here. So you'll hear from Bud too, and also the artist Alex DeLarge. So let's thank you. All right, boys. We're over here at the Statesville Family YMCA here with Melinda White Manning. Good morning, Melinda.
Brian.
So behind me, what is this? What's going to happen this morning?
We are going to drop this blue curtain and reveal a wonderful mural by Alex DeLarge of Southern Tiger Collective. He's a Charlotte-based artist that lived in Statesville for a while.
And we're here for cultivation. What is cultivation?
Cultivation is a plant-to-plate program. We partner with the YMCA and we teach summer campers how to grow their own food, cook their own food, and this year we're going to bring art into the program.
Wow, so you're adding that component this year.
We are. We've got local artists that have volunteered their time and talents, and we'll be working with the kids to create art.
Okay, well, very good. So let's look forward to the unveiling.
Yes.
All right. Bud Martin here from Speedball Products. Bud, are you helping out with this today?
Yeah, we for the cultivation project for this summer, we're helping the kids prepare a bunch of screens. They're going to screen print their own T-shirts.
Okay.
I think they're going to tie dye them first. So,
tie-dye?
Yeah, they're going to tie-dye first and then screen print. So
all right,
Speedball's supplying the materials to do that. Yeah.
Are you going back to Burning Man this year?
I am.
All right. Well, I'll get a report from you on that too.
Okay.
So thank you, Bud, for supporting the YMCA, and thanks for all you do here in Statesville.
ready for
Hey, Alex, this is the artist today that we're going to unveil this mural, and tell us a little bit about what we're going to see here.
It's Melinda's creation, really. You know, I just helped facilitate.
So she had the inspiration?
Yeah, she had the vision for a little garden mural for the children here that she does for a little gardening program.
So
I help facilitate.
I know. I see a lot of your artwork around town, and thank you for your hard work. So let's take a look at your creation. Chance to go out to YMCA. Statesville Family YMCA is more than just a place to work out. They make programs for adults, children, you name it.
Right, we've talked about the dance in the last few weeks. They obviously have recreational basketball, they have swimming lessons, they have aerobics, any number of activities to keep the whole family fit and in shape, and also engaged in the community.
They are engaged in the community, so I'm very proud to support them, have them one of our sponsors. Hey everybody, this is Brian About Town. We've had a programming change today. Originally we were going to talk with Marley the Bloodhound, but I got Gary Simpson here as the first responder of the week, sponsored by McDonald's. Gary, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
And tell us about your dog here.
All right, this is Abby. She's a 5-year-old lab, and she comes to us from Argentina.
Wow.
She was imported in here from Highland Canine to the Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Campbell got this canine for our program, and I work on the Interstate Criminal Enforcement team. And Miss Abby here is narcotics detection only, and she does a fantastic, phenomenal job out there for us on the road.
Why did you want to get into narcotics enforcement?
Well, 24 years ago, I started law enforcement, and about 3 years into my career, I started into narcotics, and then that led to the interstates, and I'm the longest running interdiction guy in the state of North Carolina.
You are?
Yep, this is my 20th year on the interstates, and 13 of them are with Iredell County Sheriff's Office.
What makes a rewarding day for you?
Anytime we can enforce the drug laws in North Carolina, make it a safer place around Iredell County for our citizens, is a good rewarding day.
What kind of advice would you give somebody wanting to go into this field?
Just be prepared. You know, a lot can happen. It's the unexpected. Anything, any day. You can have boring days, and you can have exciting days.
Exciting days. That's right. Now tell us about the dog. The dog is is trained to do to find drugs. Now,
Yes.
Bill Hamby said that it doesn't go clawing and scratching, it just finds the drugs and just lays down.
Yeah, well, she indicates by pointing, almost like a hunting dog would point if they saw a bird in the bush.
Right.
And that's exactly how she does.
Okay.
She just sticks her nose as close to the source of the odor, which she's trained on 5 different odors. And if she's anywhere close to that source of that odor, she tries to get her nose as close to that as possible. And that's her indication. She won't pull off of it.
Very good. So we want to thank you for your service, and we hope we won't have an encounter with Abby. That's right. But if need be, they're out there to do it.
Or if you do, it's a good positive encounter like
a
today.
good encounter like today. So Gary, thank you very much. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Hey, that was a great interview with Gary Simpson of the Iredell County Sheriff's Department about his dog, Abby, and she does training. We had scheduled originally to have Marley, the bloodhound. We'll have her on a little bit later, but to end up the show here, I've got Eric Hansen with me. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, Eric's will be contributing from time to time on Statesville Free News and Views, some what would you call them, some documentaries or specials?
Just covering some entertainment and some talented people here in Statesville and Iredell County.
Okay, so we just had graduation, and this is a little teaser for a longer piece we're going to put on SVL Free TV. And so tell us about this teaser.
Okay, well this last week I had the opportunity to sit down with 3 young men who recently this past Saturday graduated. So I spoke to them before graduation on their thoughts, their 4 years in high school, and their future plans. One is a future Division I soccer player and all-time leading goal scorer here at Statesville High School, Antonio Pineda. Another one, Clifford Bellamy, is an inspiring dancer, wants to go to Broadway one day. And then lastly, Eli Yassin is a performing musician around town who has dreams of going to Nashville one day.
Okay, so. Excellent. So let's take a look at this. We round out the show. Thank you for tuning in on SVL Free News and Views. And Eric, we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Brian.
4 years on varsity, 4 conference championships, 2-time All-State player, 2-time Iredell County Record and Landmark Player of the Year. Actually has the most goals scored, Iredell County record for most goals scored this season with 68 your senior year, and the all-time leading goal scorer at Statesville High School with 123 goals that you finished this year at Statesville. With all those awards and all those accolades, talking about that goal scoring record that you did, you broke the record on your senior night here in Greyhound Hollow. Talk about that night. What was going through your mind?
Before the game, I knew it was a big day for me, not just being my last home game, but also there was a record in my mind that I wanted to break. And it was my senior night, so I really wanted to break it and make it more of a special moment than it already was. But 15 minutes left in the game, still didn't score any goals that half, and I still had 3 left to break it. But I don't know what happened. I went off, had 3 goals in less than 5 minutes, with like 2 minutes left in the game, and ran with my teammates down the sideline and just celebrated with them that special night that we had together. So,
with his senior teammates in front of his home crowd.
I don't think anything will ever top that moment that I had with them. After graduation, I'll be attending High Point University down up the road, so, and playing soccer there with a scholarship that they gave me, also studying in pre-med. So
do you have any words for your class of 2018? The people of Statesville, and maybe some future athletes that are coming into the Statesville area or are hoping to maybe break your records one day?
Just don't be afraid to tell people that you want to be happy doing what you want to do, not what they want you to do. So for me, it's just do your thing and it will come.
Best of luck to you in your future at High Point University and with the rest of your career.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you've been to a football game or a basketball game in the last 4 years, you've seen this guy entertaining the crowd with his dance moves, helping out the dance team, helping out the cheer squad, and being probably the most spirited person in all the fans in Greyhound Nation. And so we're talking about after graduation. You are a performer, you are a dancer. What are your plans after graduation?
After graduation, my plan is to attend a 4-year college to pursue my major, which is dance and choreography.
You know, there is a special dance program here at Statesville High School, which we're in one of the dance studios right now. But what advice do you have for those future Greyhounds?
My advice is to never give up on it, even when it's hard. Like, even when you don't want to go to practice, or even when you don't want to go to class, even when you don't want to do anything, don't give up on it, because in the long time it'll really pay off.
I know for a fact that you will be missed here at Statesville High School, not only in the hallways, but also with your spirit on Friday nights, the football games and all the basketball games. I know they're definitely going to miss you in Greyhound Nation. But best of luck to you, and congratulations, Cliff.
Thank you.
All right? He is a singer, songwriter, and musician that some of you may have seen play around town at some of our local restaurants and maybe some of our local festivals. So Eli, how does it feel to be a graduate, soon to be?
It feels good. I've loved high school. It's been great, but I'm definitely ready to move on, to take that next step and go to college. So after high school, I'm going to Mitchell for 2 years, and I'll get an associate's in fine arts music. And after that, I'm transferring, and I'll be on my way to Belmont in Nashville, Belmont School of Music. It's great. Great music school in Nashville, a lot of good musicians, so I'm really looking forward to it.
What type of genre would you say your music is?
I'm a mixed bag, you know, I like everything from gypsy jazz to pop, rock, blues, R&B. I mean, if you name it and I like it, so I'll play anything, pretty much. I'm open to playing whatever.
And you are going to be attending Mitchell Community College here, which is one of our great sponsors of the show, Statesville Free News and Views. And you're going to be attending there for 2 years, so that lets me be assured that I know we're going to be seeing your talent maybe more around town, playing some local areas.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm in, right now I'm in conversation. My band is most likely playing it next year at the Friday After 5, so look out for us there.
Okay. And right now, Eli, if you don't mind, would you mind playing something for us?
Yeah, for sure.
Baby, I got your number. Whoa, and I know that you got mine.